Hey, what's up everyone, it's your girl Brain Shanae, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my anticipated releases of 2024. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. As some of you may have known, if you're not new here, I have been doing anticipated releases for a few years now, and I would do multiple videos of releases. And to be honest, for next year, I want to be very strategic on the releases that I really want to get to, and just have more self-control. Because I love books, and whenever I see like a gorgeous cover or sprayed edges or whatever, I just go for them. And I just know for next year, I know there are going to be a lot of beautiful books out there, but these are books that I really want to get to and that I have been anticipating for a while. So I really am going to be sharing with you my top 15 book releases of 2024. And I'm just doing one video. I literally dumbed it down my list because I feel like if I didn't do a list, it would be all over the place, where like last year, I think I did like 30 books or something like that. Well, it's going to be different. This year around, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 15. So the first release I'm looking forward to, which as I go through these books, I'm going to share with you the order of the release dates that they're going to be coming out. So the first book, I feel like y'all are not going to be surprised with this, is Fae Bound by Sarah L. Arifi, and the release date is January 23rd. I'm really looking forward to this book, and y'all are going to judge me, but like I plan on at least getting two different editions of this book, particularly. One from Waterstones, which I pre-ordered, and I think Fairy Loot has their box for December is going to have Fae Bound in it. Though Fairy Loot is definitely is in some mess right now, so who knows what's going to happen with that. But prior to them doing that whole debacle this, last couple days with their special edition of one particular book, I think they've been doing a pretty good job with some representation that they've been putting in their book boxes. So like I said, it's going to be Fae Bound, and I want to share with you the synopsis of the book. So it says, divided by blood, imprisoned by fate, bound by desire, welcome to the intoxicating world of the Fae. Yiren is a warrior in the Elven army and has known nothing but violence her whole life. Her sister, Lettel, is trying to make a living as a diviner, seeking prophecies of a better future. When a fatal mistake leads to Yiren's exile from the Elven lands, they are both forced into a terrifying wilderness beyond their borders. There, they encounter the impossible, the Fae court. The Fae haven't been seen for a millennium, but now Yiren and Lettel are thrust into their seductive world, torn between their loyalty to each other, their elven homeland, and their hearts. So yes, I'm really looking forward to Fae Bound. It's the first release of January, which it comes out January 23rd. So I have some time because there are some books that I want to catch up on. So this book I'm probably going to be reading in February, and possibly pick this as my book pick for February. Just to be quite honest with y'all, that are my members on my channel, which thank you so much for staying with me and just being there for me. I really do appreciate it so much. So there's the first book that I'm anticipating of 2024. Then let's move on to the next book, which I was surprised when I said that I would read this. So the second book is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Yes, I said Ali Hazelwood because I said that I would never read a book by her, but I might make an exception for this book in particularly because I feel like this is a book, something up my alley that I think I will enjoy. So for Bride, it comes out February the 6th. And for the synopsis, it says, a dangerous alliance between a vampire bride and an alpha werewolf becomes a love deep enough to sink your teeth into in this paranormal romance. And then it follows Misery Lark, I don't like that name, Misery Lark, that's bad. The only daughter of the most powerful vampire councilman of the Southwest is an outcast again. Her days of living in anonymity among the humans are over. She has been called upon to uphold an historic peacekeeping alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Weirs. And she sees little choice but to surrender herself in the exchange. Again, Weirs are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Low Moreland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice. And unlike the Vampire Council, not without feeling. It's clear from the way he tracks Misery's every movement that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew how right he was. Because Misery has her own reasons to agree to this marriage of convenience, reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the only thing she's ever cared about, and she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what's hers, even if it means a life alone in weird territory, alone with the wolf. So, This is very, very interesting. So, I mean, it has romance, fantasy, paranormal, vampires, which I think is what sold me. It has, fantasy romance, paranormal romance. It goes on. So I was like, let me give Ali Hazelwood one try to see if I can do this. I think I can get through this book. Her other previous books, I didn't really care for. But for this one, since it's a paranormal romance, there's vampires and there's werewolves, I might give it a try. So like I said, this book's going to be coming out February the 6th. So fingers crossed, y'all. Fingers crossed, because like I said, I don't really... Ali Hazelwood is just... I never really expected to read her. So I'm giving it a try, and I'm just keeping an open mind. Now, this next book I'm really, really looking forward to reading, and that is An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson. I'm really excited for this. This book is going to be coming out February the 15th. So let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this one. So it says, sumptuous and addictive, An Education in Malice is a dark academia tale of blood, secrets, and insatiable hungers. And then it says, deep in the forgotten hills of Massachusetts stands St. Perpetua's College. Isolated and ancient, it is not a place for timid girls. Here, secrets are currency. Ambition is lifeblood, and strange ceremonies welcome students into the fold. On her first day of class, Laura Sheridan is thrust into an intense academic rivalry with the beautiful, enigmatic Carmilla. Together, they are drawn into the confidence of their demanding poetry professor, De La Fontaine, who holds her own dark obsession with Carmilla. But as their rivalry blossoms into something far more delicious, Laura must confront her own strange hungers. Tangled in a sinister game of politics, bloodthirsty professors, and dark magic, Laura and Carmilla must decide how much they are willing to sacrifice in their ruthless pursuit of knowledge. And so the genres for this follows like with fantasy, horror, it's like gothic, it has romance. I'm here for it. So like I said, and so apparently this is supposed to be like a companion with A Diary of Blood, which I love so much. I have like 3 different editions of them, of A Diary of Blood. So I'm really looking forward to reading An Education in Malice. S.T. Gibson's writing is just amazing. So I'm looking forward to see what this book is about. So let's move on to the next release that I'm looking forward to reading in 2024. So for this one, I'm really looking forward to this. I have pre-ordered this book because there's a special edition for it and I like the sprayed edges. Don't judge me. So the next book, which comes out of February 20th, is A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Fazal. And I just love this cover so much. But let me read the synopsis for this one. So it says, on the streets of White Roaring, Arthea Azamir is a criminal mastermind and collector of secrets. Her prestigious tea room transforms into an illegal bloodhouse by dark catering to the vampires feared by society. But when her establishment is threatened, Arthea is forced to strike an unlikely deal with an alluring adversary to save it, and she can't do the job alone. Calling upon a band of misfits, Arthea formulates a plan to infiltrate the dark and glittering vampire society known as the Othrium. But not every member of her crew is on her side, and as the truth behind the heist unfolds, Arthea finds herself in the midst of a conspiracy that will threaten the world as she knows it. Dark, action-packed, and swoon-worthy, this is Hafsa Fazal's Better Than Ever. And then it says, right here, from Hasfa Fazal, New York Times bestselling author of We Hunt the Flame, comes the first book in a hotly anticipated new fantasy duology about an orphan girl and her crew who get tangled in a heist with vampires. And it says perfect for fans of Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one as well. Like I said, this book comes out February 20th, and I feel like a lot of my books that I love could be coming out earlier of 2024, which is fine. That means I don't really have to wait that much, that long. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And let me know down below if any of these are any of your anticipated reads of 2024. I was about to say 2023. 2024. But anyway, let's move on to the 5th book that I'm looking forward to read next year. So for this next book, it is called Fathomfolk by Eliza Chan. This book is coming out February the 27th. So literally from the Tempest of Tea to Fathomfolk, it's going to be back-to-back releases, which is fine. So for this one, which I love the cover, this is The Drowned World. This is the first book, so I'm thinking it's a series or a duology. And it says, from one of fantasy's most exciting new voices, Eliza Chan comes a modern, myth-inflected story of revolution and magic set against the glittering, semi-submerged city of Tankawi. It says, perfect for fans of Jade City and the Bone Shard Daughter. It says, welcome to Tankawi, shining pearl of human civilization and a safe haven for those fleeing civil unrest. Or at least that's how it first appears. Says, but in the semi-flooded city, humans are, quite literally, on peering down from skyscrapers and aerial walkways on the Fathomfolk. Sirens, sea witches, kelpies, and kappas who live in the polluted waters below. For half-siren Mira, promotion to captain of the border guard means an opportunity to reform. At last, she has the ear of the city council and a chance to lift the repressive laws that restrict Fathomfolk at every turn. But if earning the trust and respect of her human colleagues wasn't hard enough, everything Mira has worked towards is put in jeopardy when a water dragon is exiled to the city. New rival Nami is an aristocratic water dragon with an opinion on everything. Frustrated by the lack of progress from Mira's softly approach in gaining equality, Nami throws her lot in with an anti-human extremist group, leaving Mira to find the headstrong youth before she makes everything worse. And pulling strings behind everything is Cordelia, a second-generation sea witch determined to do what she must do to survive and see her family flourish. Even if it means climbing over the bodies of her competitors, her political game playing and underground connections would disrupt everything Nami and Mira are fighting for. And then it says, when the extremists sabotage the annual boat race, violence erupts, as does the clampdown on Fathomfolk rights. Even Nami realizes her new friends are not what they seem. Both she and Mira must decide if the cost of change is worth it or if Tankawi should be left to drown. So this sounds really deep. I'm really looking forward to this. And I really love this cover. You can see all the different you see the sea witch, the dragons. It just looks really, really beautiful. And I think one of the book boxes, I'm not sure which one, I think they're doing a special edition for this one. So I'm really looking forward to this. And once again, this book is coming out February the 27th. So if you weren't aware of it, you are aware of it now. So definitely be ready and be prepared. So let's move on to the next book. Now for this next book, I knew about the book, but I didn't know when it was going to release. And then I found out that with this author and some other authors were attacked by one author, Kate Corain or whatever recently. And so like they've been doing giving them 1 stars on some of these authors. And when the books are supposed to release in 2024, and most of the books are by POC authors. So I'm really wanting to make sure that I get my hands on this one in particular. And I do plan on doing a book review for this one as well, because what this author did was disgusting, distasteful. And I really hope that they get something is going to happen. I really hope that there's repercussions to what they did, because that was extremely wrong. I don't know why these authors think that it's okay. I don't know why this author thought that they thought they could get away with it when there's receipts, so it's just really mind-boggling. It pisses me off. Like, is it that deep? Is it that deep where you have your friends promoting your book, but then you really and you call yourself a friend and you write a terrible review about their book? Like, who does that? Like what is the purpose of you going out your way to do this? But anyways, so that's why I'm really excited to read this book, and I'm ready to do what I can to promote this book, and I do plan on doing a book review for this. And the book I'm speaking of is The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste. This book is going to be coming out March the 5th, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. So let's go ahead and read the synopsis. So it says, in a country divided between humans and witchers, Venus Stoneheart hustles as a brewer, making illegal love potions to support her family. Love potions is a dangerous business. Brewing has painful, debilitating, side effects, and getting caught means death or a prison sentence. But what Venus is most afraid of is the dark sentiment magic within her. Then an enemy's iron bullet kills her mother. Venus's life implodes. Keeping her reckless little sister Janice safe is now her responsibility. When the powerful Grand Witcher, the ruthless head of her coven, offers Venus the chance to punish her mother's killer, she has to pay a steep price for revenge. The cost? Brew poisonous potions to enslave DC's most influential politicians. As Venus crawls deeper into the corrupt underbelly of her city, the line between magic and power blurs, and it's hard to tell who to trust, herself included. So, this really sounds good. This sounds something really realistic. I feel like there's things that we can relate to even in the real world. Of course, this is fantasy, but I feel like there's realistic elements that we live on in today's society that I'm really looking forward to reading. And this is considered a young adult fantasy. It's urban fantasy. There is witches and so much more. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. If this wasn't on your radar, I'm glad it is now. And I really would appreciate if you support these authors that were attacked by this Kate, whatever the fuck her name is. I don't give a fuck anymore about her. Like, whatever. I don't plan on reading her book. I know that her book was chosen for one of the book boxes. I will be skipping that box. I will not be supporting this author. I'm done. I'm done with problematic authors when they just want to attack other authors just to seem like, just to make themselves feel better or whatever. I don't understand. I really don't know. But anyway, please support this author and the other authors that were affected by this problematic author. But yeah, so like I said, The Poisons We Drink by Bethany Baptiste will be coming out March 5th. So make sure you be ready for when this book releases. Now, for this particular book, I'm willing to give her a try. I tried reading her other series and it just wasn't for me. I didn't really like the writing style. But I'm going to be open-minded with this one because based off of the synopsis of this particular book. And the book I'm speaking about is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. And this book releases April the 9th. So for this one, let me go ahead and read the synopsis. It says, in a shabby house on a shabby street in the new capital of Madrid, Luisa Catado uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil as a scullion. But when her scheming mistress discovers the lump of a servant cowering in the kitchen is actually hiding a talent for little miracles, she demands Luisa use those gifts to better the family's social position. What begins as simple amusement for the bored nobility takes a perilous turn when Luisa garners the notice of Antonio Perez, the disgraced secretary to Spain's king. Still reeling from the defeat of his armada, the king is desperate for any advantage in the war against England's heretic queen, and Perez will stop at nothing to regain the king's favor. Which, this is some history in it, which makes me interested even more. It says, determined to seize this one chance to better her fortunes, Luisa plunges into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men and huskers, where the line between magic, science, and fraud is never certain. But as her notoriety grows, so does the danger that her Jewish blood will doom her to the Inquisition's wrath. She will have to use every bit of her wits and will to survive, even if that means enlisting the help of Gulian Santagal, an embittered immortal familiar whose own secrets could prove deadly for them both. So there's some history in it. It literally says, from the New York Times bestselling author of Ninth House, Hellbent, and creator of the Grishaverse series, comes a highly anticipated historical fantasy set during the Spanish Golden Age. So there's some history in this, which, like I said, with that and with the synopsis, I'm like, all right, I'm going to give Leigh Bardugo a try. I haven't read Ninth House. I haven't read Hellbent. I know people have read it and they loved it. So I'm trying to be open-minded. Maybe just with the Grishaverse, I just wasn't with it. So maybe I'll get with this one and it'll be good. So we shall see. But like I said, I'm really looking forward to reading this just based off of the synopsis alone. And like I said, once again, this book comes out April the 9th. Now this next book, I'm really excited that it's coming out. It was supposed to come out sometime this year of 2023, but it got pushed back. So now it's going to be coming out April the 30th, which I'm really excited for. And the book I'm talking about is Heavenly Tyrant by Ziran J. Zhao. And this is the second book of the first book of Iron Widow. And I love the cover first off, and I just loved Iron Widow, so I want to read this one. So it says, after suffering devastating loss and making drastic decisions, Zetian finds herself at the seat of power in Uxia. But she has also learned that her world is not as it seems, and revelations about an enemy more daunting than Zetian imagined forces her to share power with a dangerous man she cannot simply depose. Despite having vastly different ideas about how they must deconstruct the corrupt and misogynist system that plagues their country, Zetian must join this man in a dance of truth and lies and perform their roles to perfection in order to take down their common enemy, who seeks to control them as puppets while dangling one of Zetian's loved ones as a hostage. With political unrest and perilous forces aiming to undermine Zetian at every turn, can she enact positive changes as a fair and just ruler, or will she be forced to rely on fear and violence and succumb to her darker instincts in her quest for vengeance? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this. It sounds really good. I might end up rereading Iron Widow because it has been a minute since I read it. So I definitely want to read it, make sure I remember everything, and then read this one. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading Heavenly Tyrant. And once again, this book is going to be coming out April the 30th of 2024. Now, for this book, y'all, I know we have been waiting for the conclusion of this particular series. I know some people either love the first book or didn't like the first book, or they love the second book or then didn't like the second book, you know, vice versa, whatever. But I'm really looking forward to this book in particular, and I really love this cover. And so the book that I'm talking about is Mirrored Heavens, and this is by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is the stunning conclusion to the Between Earth and Sky trilogy. And this book is going to be coming out, which I'm really excited for. It's going to be June 4th. So, June 4th. So, and I just love this cover. Sorry. Love the cover really much. So, it says, even the sea cannot stay calm before the storm, Teak sang. Serapio, avatar of the crowned god reborn, and the newly crowned Carrion King, rules Tova. But his enemies gather both on distant shores and without his own city as the matrons of the clans scheme to destroy him. And deep in the alleys of the maw, a new prophecy is whispered, this one from the coyote god. It promises Serapio certain doom if its terrible dictates are not fulfilled. It says, meanwhile, Zalia is thrust back amongst her people as war comes first to the island of Teak. With their way of life and their magic under threat, she is their last best hope. But the sea won't talk to her the way it used to, and doubts riddle her mind. She will have to sacrifice the things that matter most to unleash her powers and become the queen they were promised. And in the far northern wastelands, Narapa, avatar of the sun god, seeks a way to save Tova from the visions of fire that engulf her dreams. But another presence has begun stalking her nightmares, and the jaguar god is on the hunt. Sorry. I'm really excited for this book, y'all. Man, I have to wait till June, but it is what it is. I'm just glad that the book is going to be released this year. I'm just really excited for it. So, like I said, this book comes out June 4th. I feel like maybe this will be a book pick for July for my members. So, let me know what y'all think. For my members out there that are watching this, let me know down below in the comments, or just hit me up, whatever, you know what the deal is. So, yeah, just let me know if that would be something that y'all would like to do. But let's move on to the 10th book that I'm looking forward to reading in 2024. Now, I really love this author. I love her writing style. I'm a huge fan of her books, especially Cinderella is Dead and her other books that she has written as far as when it comes to her fantasy. I wasn't such a huge fan of her release that came out this year regarding like a horror type of, horror type of book, or thriller. But, I still appreciated the book and I still enjoyed it. So for this one, I'm really looking forward to this. Once again, this book is going to be coming out June 25th, and that is Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Barron. I'm so excited for this one. I've been anticipating her books, and I'm like, I just love her themes of what she comes up with. So for this one, let's see what the synopsis says. So it says, only the truth, desperate and foolish, seek out the night, an ancient monster who twists wishes into curses. Eve knows this firsthand. One of her mothers were cursed by the night and trapped in the body of a songbird. With unique abilities to communicate with animals and conjure weapons from nature, Eve has trained all her life to defeat him. With more and more villagers harmed by the night's corrupt deals, Eve believes she's finally ready to face him. But when Queen Regina begins acting strangely, talking to seemingly no one, isolating herself, and lashing out at the slightest provocation, Eve must question if her powers are enough to save her family and her kingdom. So this is a, young adult fantasy. It's like a retelling. There's queer rep, high fantasy. I'm just here for it. So once again, I'm looking forward to Sleep Like Death. And let's move on to my next anticipated release of 2023. Or excuse me, 2024. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to have to get used to that. 2024. So for this one, this is a new epic fantasy novella duology. When I saw the cover, I'm like, yes, I want to read this. So the book that I'm speaking of is In the Shadow of the Fall. This is by Toby Ogunderen, and this book is going to be coming out July 23rd, and I just love the cover. I think that's what mostly got me wanting to read it in the first place, to be quite honest with y'all. But it just sounds really good. So for this one, it says Ashake is an acolyte in the temple of Ifa, waiting for the day she becomes a full priest and can go out into the world to serve her Orisha. But there is just one problem. The Orisha have refused to speak to her, not for lack of trying. She's watched her peers enter the inner sanctum, where they're chosen and bestowed favor by the Orisha and emerged as full priest. She's endured the jeers. She's endured the jeers and ridicule of younger acolytes. She's suffered the pity of the senior priest. She's wallowed in self-pity. No more. In her desperation, Ashake builds a device to trap an Orisha, any Orisha. But when she performs the rite of summoning, she experiences a vision so terrible it destroys the device in a blaze of fire, draws the attention of a powerful enemy sect, and thrusts Ashake into the center of cascading events that will shatter the very foundations of her world. So, this sounds really good. This is the first book in the Guardians of the Gods duology. And this book is coming out July 23rd, like I said before. So I'm really looking forward to this, and it's a novella. So the book, is not going to be particularly that long. So novellas are maybe 100, 200 pages at the most. So really looking forward to this one, and I just love this cover. So let's move on to the 12th release, which I hope it comes out in 2024. Yeah, I really hope it does, because I have been waiting and it seems like we've all been waiting for years for this particular book to be released. And so I'm hopeful that this book is going to be coming out in March, possibly. And that's the expected release. So the expected release is March 21st of 2024, but honestly, it's not a definite, so we don't really know. So that's why I really didn't even put it in order with the other releases, because it's it says March, but it could be something else, or it could be pushed back into the following year, who knows. But the book I'm talking about is The Lord of Demons. This is the third book in the Burning series by Evan Winter, and we've been waiting a while for a release from Evan Winter. I can't give you the synopsis yet because it's not really set in stone if it's going to be released, but I love the Rage of Dragons and I love the Fire of Vengeance. So it's come on, Evan, please, we've been waiting for the Lord of Demons for some time, and then after the Lord of Demons is the fourth book. So it's I feel like we're behind, and I really love the two books that I read by him so far, so I want to continue, but it's we do not need another George R.R. Martin. Please no. Please no. So yeah, I'm hoping that this book, The Lord of Demons, will come out this year, and that we will get the release of the cover of this book. So I'm being hopeful for that. So this next book, I'm really looking forward to reading this, and that is The Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. This book is supposed to be coming out August the 6th. There hasn't been any cover reveal or anything, but it says, what happens when the assistant becomes something more? Find out in the hilarious and heartwarming follow-up to Assistant to the Villain by instant #1 New York Times bestselling author Hannah Nicole Mayer. So yeah, like I said, the expected release date is August the 6th. I'm looking forward to seeing what the cover will look like. I love the cover of the first book, so we shall see. So let's move on to, we have 2 more books to get through that I want to address. So let's get to this next one, and I'm really looking forward to this next one. I didn't know that the cover was released, or maybe it hasn't and it just is on this particular site. So I'm excited to share this with you all. So this book is going to be coming out August the 13th, and it is the final book in the Ending Fire trilogy. And the title of the book is The Ending Fire by Sarah L. Arifi. And look at the cover. Now, I did not think it would be silver. I thought it was going to be like a gray. I didn't think it was going to be like a grayish. I thought it was really going to be yellow or something like that, but we were definitely wrong. I just love this cover. And oh my God. And this is the US edition. So I don't know what the UK edition is going to look like, but oh my God. Oh my God. And this book is expected to come out August the 13th. But it says, the stunning conclusion to the epic fantasy series inspired by myths of Africa and Arabia that began with the final strife. So I'm looking forward to this. We're definitely going to be having this as, since this come out in August, probably September, we read this book and do a discussion. We did a live discussion for the first 2 books. We might as well do it for the 3rd and final book of this series. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I really hope that it does come out on August 13th because I'm excited. Like anything by Sarah L. Arifi, I'm reading it. It's like she's an instant like buy for me, an instant author where I'm going to read her work. I'm really looking forward to her other piece of work that she shared on her stories with it's like a Cleopatra type of retelling book that she's working on right now. So I'm excited. So let's move on to the last and final book of my anticipated releases of 2024. Now this next one I'm really looking forward to reading. It's supposed to be, well, for this one, I don't know why it says the expected release is January 1st, but of 2024, but I don't think that's correct. I don't honestly know when the book is going to be released. I'm hoping it's sometime next year. Who knows? You know, Brandon Sanderson always comes out with just surprising stuff, so who knows. So this is the 5th book in the Stormlight Archive series, and that is Nights of Wind and Truth. There is no synopsis whatsoever with this book, and there's no cover at all. But I'm just like, I really hope it's 2024. If not, I'll just wait for 2025. But if Brandon surprises us, if the Brandon Sanderson surprises us with a release date that's soon, you know, we don't have to wait like wait till like November, December, I'm going to lose my shit. Like, I'm going to like, oh man, I definitely am going to be reading this because when Brie and I did the read along for Brandon Sanderson last year, man, it was such a fun time. So and since with the secret projects that we read this year as well, like I'm excited for the Stormlight Archives book number 5. Like I'm here for it. I am here for it. But that is it. Those are my top 15 book releases of 2024 that I'm really looking forward to reading. They're my anticipated reads, and I'm excited for them all. But that is it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please, please, please give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified when I upload more videos in the future. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you are staying healthy and staying safe. Bye, everyone.